First of all, how you feeling these days? Obviously, you had the injury at the end of the indoor. How you feeling now?
Definitely feeling a lot better than I was then. It's been great to get back to running, and it just definitely makes me more thankful to have this opportunity.
What's the opportunity like to be able to go to the Olympic trials? And I think so far, at least in your event, you're the only collegian that so far is going to be in it.
Um, I'm not really sure what it's gonna be like yet. I have heard that it's an experience that you just can't replicate anywhere else, so I'm excited.
How much of in terms of the things you've been able to do, where would that rank? Just being able to to run in it and have the opportunity.
A lot of it depends on how I run. Like but just having the opportunity is a huge privilege, and I'm really happy that I get to be there.
What kind of pros and cons were you weighing about racing in Eugene, and why did you decide to finally pull the trigger and commit yesterday?
We were just trying to decide if it was the right move for me moving forward with cross country in my sophomore year, and seeing if I was fit enough yet to run in the race due to the time I had to take off. But I had a pretty okay workout on Friday, so that gave us a little bit more confidence to make that decision.
Yeah, where are you at health-wise, would you say?
My injury's gone.
How long did it kind of take you to come back from it? And you said had to take a little bit of time off. What was that process like coming back from it?
Yeah, so I had to take about 8 weeks where I was just cross training, which was really hard. You always have to work a lot harder when you're not running than when you are running. And then after that, I got to gradually work into running. Had to start from like walk running, and then 3 days a week, and then did that for like 4 weeks, and then got to do 4 days a week, and it was a slow process. It was painful.
And what was your injury exactly?
It was a tibial stress fracture.
I think we've all had those. What was it like after a strong cross country season, indoor season, having to sit out there in the outdoor season and kind of be on the bike while everyone's training and then off to events?
It was kind of agonizing, especially just like having to watch people do workouts and make progress forward, and just to be sitting on the bike and working so hard knowing that I'm losing everything I've worked for.
What type of opportunity will it be to run with the type of runners you're going to run against in Eugene?
It'll be amazing. A lot of those runners, I've never competed with anyone near their caliber, so I'm excited to line up with such a strong group of ladies.
Dave brought up the fact that you're the only collegiate athlete in the field at this point in time. I mean, could your freshman season? I know you dealt with an injury, but like in terms of what you've been able to accomplish, I mean, could it have gone much better for you?
Other than the injury, I was really pleased with my season. It exceeded my expectations, so I've been really happy. But I would like to say that I shouldn't be the only collegian in the race. There were 2 other girls that qualified that also got injured. So it's just really sad to see that sort of thing hold people back.
Is it a success just being able to go to the trials, among the best U.S. athletes in the country, or are you expecting, more than to just say you competed?
It is a success just to be there to get a qualifying mark. A lot of people tried and didn't quite make the mark, so that makes it more special. But when you qualify, you definitely want to go there and be able to do just that, just compete. So it'll be interesting.
Is there a silver lining in having the injury in that you can come into this a little rested, or would it have maybe been better to have an outdoor season behind you before going into it?
I definitely would have been preferable to be able to train up to the trials throughout the outdoor season. But I think the silver lining is just that I appreciate it a lot more.
So this will be your first race back after the injury then, like other than just training wise?
Yeah, this will be my first race.
How do you stay motivated knowing like you're going to be competing with some of the top athletes in the United States and all that?
I don't really think that motivation is a problem for many runners. I think all of us are pretty well self-motivated and just wanting to see results and improvement in our own running. and having a big race like this to chase after only increases that. Really, the thing to do is just to try to rein in your enthusiasm.
What was it like at the indoor nationals? Kind of dealing with the injury and stuff like that. It had to have been pretty difficult. What was that like for you? I know it was a couple months ago, but what was that experience like?
It was hard. My indoor season, I had felt like I was in the best shape of my life, and then I kind of saw that all slip away as my injury got worse, and ended up keeping me from finishing my 5K at indoors. So it was hard to deal with, but I'm glad that's over now.
You mentioned your injury, but how do you acquire such an injury? I guess running too much, or I guess how'd you get it?
Yeah, it's just an overuse injury, so there isn't like a specific diagnosis for how you got it. It's just you were running too much or running too hard or a combination of the two.
So I guess how much have you learned about training and learning about yourself, I guess, this year?
Yeah, the injury definitely taught me a lot about myself and what my body can handle, and I know now that I can't increase what I'm doing as fast as I want to, or necessarily go as hard as I want to all the time.
At the top of your training, how many miles are you running a week?
70 to 75.
And right about now, where are you at? I mean, I know before a big
50
event.
to 55.
With with your age, obviously people kind of can project. I mean, being at the Olympic trials at such a young age, great freshman year and all that stuff. How do you try to kind of keep it in perspective and realize that you do have a lot of potential still ahead of you, but also try not to maybe think about it too much?
Yeah, I'm just going into the trials with really no expectations. Being able to compete is kind of a bonus after struggling with an injury for so long. So I'm just excited to be on the start line.
Are you just excited to compete again? I mean, that thrill of competition?
Yeah, definitely. I've missed it for a long time, so I'm excited to get back out there.
Have you ever been to or competed at Hayward Field?
No, actually, this will be my first time running at Hayward.
That's like, do you know much about it? And Tracktown USA, I mean, it's a pretty remarkable venue, obviously.
Yeah, I've definitely heard a lot about it, and I've been to Hayward Field. I watched NCAAs on my senior year of high school, but I've just never raced there. So it should be a really cool atmosphere with that combined with the Olympic trials.
What are kind of the I know that maybe what happens in Eugene can dictate it, but what were your plans for the summer, and are your plans for the summer, I guess, since you decided to commit to racing in Eugene?
Yeah, after racing the Olympic trials, I'll just go back to summer training for cross country.